All right, guys, here is the 6.4 staying sharp. So we need to write a rule for the following graph. Well, to write a rule, we know we're going to have an equation. We know we have to relate the independent variable x to the dependent variable y. So my rule is going to have to end up looking something like y equals something times x plus or minus some other number. Well, let's figure out what this rule is. To do that, we need to make a table. So let's make a table of our x and y pairs. When x is 0, y is 0. When x is, that's a 4, it matches up with y on 1. When x is 12, y is 3. We've got one more. When x is 20, I've got y is 5. So we've got 0 to 0, 4 to 1, 12 to 3, 20 to 5. Well, I know that my y's are going all up, but the problem is that my x's are always bigger than my y's. So I'm either going to have to subtract. So let's see, we'd have to do 4 minus 3. So 4 minus 3 is 1, that works. 12 minus 3 is 9, not 3. So it's not subtraction. The other choice is division. So how could I get from 4 to 1? Well, I could divide by 4. That equals 1. Is 12 divided by 4 3? Yes. Is 20 divided by 4 5? Yes. So here's what we've got. To get our y, you've got to take your x and you've got to divide by 4. After that's done, I don't have to add or subtract anything. Here's the major problem with this, though. You will rarely see it in this form. Like I said in the very beginning, it's y equals some number times x. Well, we know that dividing by 2 is really multiplying by 0.50. What is the multiplication equivalent of dividing by 4? You have to multiply by what decimal? Anybody know? Stumped the class. 0.25. Very good. Good job, Good job, Ariana. It's fine. Ariana made it to the video. So y equals 0.25x. Okay, my voice should be on the video, not yours. You're going to see one like this on the EOC, I guarantee it. So you need to realize that dividing something by 4 is the same thing as multiplying it by 0.25. Star that, circle it, do what you need to do. Now, number 2 says use this to help us with this. Well, all I have to do to get to y is divide by 4 each time. So negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. 0 divided by 4 is 0. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And 60 divided by 4 is 15. So if we put a negative 4 into our machine, out comes a negative 1. All right, next one. To calculate a basketball team's score in a game, you can use the equation. Go ahead and box that in because you know that's going to be important. X represents the number of 3-point baskets. Y represents the number of 2-point baskets. And remember, there's an invisible 1 in front of this Z. So Z, what's worth 1 point in basketball? A free throw. So Z will be the number of free throws that we have. So they want us to say how many points, which is P, how many points did the team score if we've got this, this, and this? Well, are we evaluating or are we solving? Evaluating is plugging in values, and so that's what we're doing. So take your 3x plus 2y plus 1z equals P and write it out. X they said was 8, so I'm going to take out my X and put in an 8. Y they said was 27, so I'm going to take out my Y and put in a 27. And Z they said was 17, so take out your Z and put in a 17. 3 times 8 gives you 24. 2 times 27 gives you 54. 1 times 17 gives you 17. 24 plus 54 gives you 78. And so you have 78 plus 17 equals P. And finally, we have the number of points they scored was 95 points. They scored 95 points. So no, the whole team scored 95 points. All right, so number 4 is a little bit trickier, but we can do this. It says use the equation. As soon as you see the words use the equation, write out the equation. We have 3x plus 2y equals, 3x plus 2y equals, I messed up again. 3x plus 2y plus 1z equals P. Stop. I can hear you and see you in the corner of my eye. Shh. So 1z is equal to P. So now it says to figure out the number of 2-point baskets. So we're looking for y. They're not going to give us y to plug in. So we're looking for that. If the team made 7 3-point baskets, so it says that we made 7 of these, and it says we made 11 free throws. So this one's 11. It also tells us that we scored a total of 84 points. Well, P is the number of points total, so that's 84. So the only piece that we're missing is that number right there. So let's see if we can clean this up a little bit and make it look a little closer to what we're used to. 3 times 7 is 21. 1 times 11 is 11. Let's bring everything else down. Now, ask yourself, can I add 21 plus 2y? No, because numbers won't add with y's. But can I add 21 and 11? Good. 21 plus 11 gives you 32. Bring down your 2y. Bring down your 84. Now, it's just simply solving for y. Put a line down the middle. Subtract 32 from both sides. You get 2y left on this side. 84 minus 32 gives you 52. And the last step, you're going to break up that 2 and that y. They're being held together right now through multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So divide by 2, divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 gives you 1y. That's what we're looking for. 52 divided by 2 gives you 26. So I made 26 2-point baskets. 26 2-point baskets. All right, last one. Let's squeeze it in. So we have, I wrote over that, so I'm going to write it again here. Y equals 3x plus 11. Well, our calculator is certainly going to help us do this one. All we have to do, it says, is figure out the output. When I put a -5 into this machine, what am I going to get out? Well, 3 times -5 is -15. -15 plus 11 is -4. Now we're going to put a -4 into this machine. In your calculator, you'll hit 3 times -4. You'll add 11, and you should get -1. Then we're going to plug in a -3. Put a -3 into this machine. 3 times -3 is -9. -9 plus 11 gives you +2. Now for this, all you have to figure out is what is your lowest x value, what is your highest x value, what is your lowest y value, what is your highest y value. And then for these two, if you had to graph this, what would you go up by on the x-axis, and what would you go up by on the y-axis? That's what you have to decide. You can handle the rest on your own. See you in class.